When you first joined Bluprint, you were around 15 million monthly views, and now you're almost at 60.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You hit $10,000 a month in revenue, right?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
What was your big reasoning for joining?
The biggest thing for me is like I didn't have any systems built around anything.
Where would you say you are today with those things?
I actually have systems built behind my editing, my scripting, like all of that stuff.
All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Nathan, and we are here with Bart, also known as Bart Does Art. My friend, tell me, how long have you been a content creator?
By now, it's probably been about like 3.5 years.
3.5 years of hustling. And you mainly do short form, right? But you've kind of dipped your toes a little bit into long form as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when did you join Bluprint? I believe it's been like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, around two months.
Nice. And then when you first joined us, what would you say what was your big reasoning for joining? What problems did you have that you needed answers for, but you didn't know the solutions to? Like what did that look like?
The biggest thing for me is like I didn't have any systems built around anything. You know, I didn't have any schedule. I didn't know what I was doing the next day, and you know, I was basically going day by day, and that's the reason I joined. I wanted to kind of get some structure behind everything I did.
100%. And that's one of the hard things about being a creator because, as a creator, as you know, you do everything, right? You do the video ideas, you do the scripting, you do the filming, you do the editing, you do the improvements, you do the channel optimization, you do the playlist, you post to multiple channels, and it can sometimes be so overwhelming. And sometimes as a creator, you can't see more than 5 feet ahead of you. And sometimes what you need to be able to do is establish these systems so you can actually, instead of working kind of in the business, in the dirty work, you can actually take some more time to work on the business and actually strategize for the future. Because that's what I do today for all of our channels. Obviously it's different because I have a lot of people helping me do things. But my point is a lot of my time is spent really focusing on the future, looking ahead 3 months, 6 months, even 24 months. And it makes a massive world of a difference. I would say, like, the challenges that you just mentioned, where would you say you are today with those things? Do you feel like those things have drastically improved? What does that look like?
Yeah, no, like at the moment I have probably about like 10 videos planned out, or well, 10 videos planned for the future. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I know what I'm doing next week. And I actually have systems built behind my editing, my scripting, like all of that stuff.
Yeah. And I know you've also done some pretty incredible milestones. You hit $10,000 a month in revenue, right?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Your first $10,000 a month, 5 figures in a month. And the other thing you did is I remember you also, I believe when you first joined Bluprint, you were around 15 million monthly views, and now you're almost at 60.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dude, that's insane. I mean, I don't want to contribute all of your success to me or to Bluprint because, you went out there and did those things. Like, we're not holding your hand every step of the way. We're obviously not helping you edit the videos. But I mean, that's just awesome. That is awesome that you've been able to do that in a very short time after joining Bluprint. I think that's just incredible. I mean, like, talk to me about how that feels because you've been a creator for 3 years now. I remember the first time I got a video to 1 million views. It took me 3.5 years to get my first video to 1 million views. What's kind of going through your mind, like hitting those milestones?
It's pretty awesome. Like when I started, I'd always kind of had in mind, like, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to pull in crazy views, and now it's like it's starting to seem possible. It's like I'm actually seeing it. It's actually happening. It feels really insane to like actually be in the moment.
Yeah. And it's crazy because you have so much more momentum in front of you as well. Like, this is your first time hitting 60 million monthly views. This is your first time hitting $10,000 a month. But again, that's just the first time. It certainly won't be the last. Right. I know when we're talking right now, it's in January and we're hitting that rough RPM season and we're seeing like those 50% dips because, Q4 is where creators make all their money. But I mean, 2026 is going to be huge for you. I have high confidence that you're probably going to 3x that number by the end of 2026, especially with you with you having these systems in place now. So you can look so much further ahead, and you can actually plan for Q3 and Q4, and be ahead of all these things and post more content and be more prepared instead of working in the day to day. I mean, it's going to make a world of a difference.
For sure, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Have you tried any other, now you don't have to name drop, but have you tried any other YouTube coaching programs, courses, anything like that before you joined Bluprint?
I had done one, like just one-on-one thing with a different YouTuber. The only problem with that is that he was one of the people where he didn't have a successful channel himself. He just, talked to all of these big creators and then took the information from that. So because of that, like, I didn't get a ton of value out of it. And then, I was like, for a while, I was also stuck watching all of these guru YouTube videos from people that have never had a channel themselves. And it's like, I finally came to the realization. I was like, I need to talk to people that actually like know what they're doing.
Yeah, 100%. And that's one of the biggest reasons I started Bluprint, because I looked at the YouTube guru education space and I saw that a lot of the biggest YouTube gurus, no offense, I think a lot of their information could be good, but a lot of them do not run channels. They did not build multiple channels from 0 to 10 million subscribers. They might have assisted a channel and helped another creator do it, but they didn't do it themselves. They weren't literally in the trenches every single day with the filming, the editing, the ideation, and dealing with the copyright strikes and the problems and the thumbnail stuff and just all the stuff that comes with being a creator, right? It's almost like, if you have a trainer for the gym, would you rather hire a trainer that's only been a trainer their entire life? Or would you rather hire the guy that has won gold medalist in bodybuilding and he's like, it's so to each their own. Like, people pick who they want to vibe with, but I just think, when it comes to being a creator, you don't really want to mess around with time. A lot of creators, they don't have a lot of time, and what I mean by that is, like, channels can go super viral and then they can drop off and trends can change. Now, the good thing about you is you make art videos, right? And that's one of the things we talk about with a lot of creators is, like, you want to make sure your niche is not going to dissolve one day, right? Like, we talk about it with the trees and the leaves on the tree. If your leaf falls off when the seasons change, you're going to be in trouble. But the great thing about you being an art creator is we can all agree that arts and crafts and painting and drawing is never going to go anywhere. It's been around since the caveman times. It's going to be around in the future. People love drawing, paintings like that. So you are in a very, very good position, but it's one of those things that some creators join and they don't realize that. They don't think about that. They don't think that far ahead, and it's something that happened to me as well. Like, I built my entire first channel up to 10 million subscribers just on Minecraft. And then I realized, oh, Minecraft's going to die one day because my entire audience is focused on just one video game. But the good thing is you're already one step ahead of me. So that's the good news there.
Yeah, that's been something that's definitely intentional. That was one of the things I've been thinking about when I started. And, even like with the videos I'm making, I'm trying to make them to something where they're not based off of trends. They're just based on things that are always going to be like interesting. You're never
Yep.
going to see people drawing on honey or like making these tiny drawings. It'll always be crazy.
Yeah, no, it's super, super smart. So out of all the things we offer in Bluprint, I want to ask you this because there's a lot of things we offer. We're bringing in, we're in the process, and by the time a lot of people see this video, this will probably already be live. But we're bringing in a lot of specialists, like thumbnail specialists, to help creators design better thumbnails, editing specialists, and all these different things. But we have the community, we have the calls with myself and Nick and other people from the team. We also have the channel audits. What would you say you got the most value out of? Like, what is that one thing that you're, kind of looking back at and you're like, wow, this was really, really good to have?
Definitely the daily calls with Nick. Yeah, because if I have any question, I don't have to like wait and like, wait for someone to answer in the next week. I can just go to him, and usually he has a pretty good answer, or he'll go to someone else and like, get the answer for you. But that's been awesome. And also the meetings with you have been really good because, Nick, obviously he's not a YouTuber himself, but, you have really, really good solid advice because you have the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. No, that's actually really good to hear because the whole office hours with Nick thing was something that he and the team wanted to implement, and I kind of told him I was like, "Sure, let's try it." For reference, people that are watching this video, Nick is our director of operations. He does a lot of other things than that. That's just kind of what we call him, but he basically, I would say, is kind of like my right hand man when it comes to Unspeakable. Anything we need, we give to Nick. If we need editors, we need a construction team, we need this, we need a thumbnail, like, so he's very well versed into, like you said, he's not a YouTuber, but he runs the back end of my operation, and it's really incredible to talk to someone like that because he sees things that a lot of other people don't see, right? Like, you could talk to an editor that just edits, and sure, that might be really valuable, but the editor might not have any information on the thumbnails or the CTR or sometimes even the retention. You'd be surprised how many editors you talk to that don't even know anything about their retention. They just edit videos or they edit shorts and they just move on, right? So there's a lot of like transparency there that I think is like super important. One of the last things I want to ask you is that we try our best to hold people accountable to actually do the things we say, right? Because that's kind of the point of education, right? If I teach you something and then you go out and apply it and you learn something or get a result from it, then you get value out of it, right? That's the whole purpose of going to school, going to college. Do you feel like you can kind of feel that fire being a part of this group, would you say?
Definitely, yeah. Like from the first day joining, like until now, my motivation has just been like, up 100%. Like it helps me to kind of push a little bit harder than I had been.
Yeah. No, I mean it's one of those things where, that's a reason, a good reason that a lot of people when they work out, they like to go to the gym because even though they might not be working out directly with someone, but they're working out around a lot of other people that are sweating and grunting and working out hard, and it's being in that environment. And the problem with being a creator is it can be so incredibly lonely sometimes. That was one of the biggest problems that I did not know how to solve when I was growing my channel is it was so lonely. Like I would just sit in my room, sit in my house for weeks and just edit and film and ideate and script. And I know you know that feeling. I can see the smile on your face. You're like, I feel so lonely right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But no, like this has totally helped before. I had a few YouTuber friends that I would, talk to a bit. But I mean, especially with daily office hours, it's like it just keeps that going. And yeah, it's just awesome to have someone to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a really hard thing that I had to get over. The only way that I actually solved it is I went out to like YouTuber conventions and I met friends and I met people in the industry and we kind of formed our own community like 8 years ago. And we talked to each other, we shared video ideas, we would send each other thumbnails and be like, what do you think of this? And that's exactly what we're doing in Bluprint. I'm just kind of recreating that for all these different creators. So that's pretty much all I got for you today. I am super excited for the future of your channel, dude. Super excited to see you just rock it into 2026. I mean, it's gonna be a year. All right. I need you to pass up ZHC. All right. That's the goal.
Yeah, no, I passed him in views,
Oh,
so that's pretty great.
well, you already. All right. Well, that's actually crazy. Man, okay, well, sky's the limit, truly. Or actually, sky's not the limit for you. You're probably gonna go past the sky. But appreciate the time. And again, if anyone else has any questions, ask our team. We're here to help. So thank you.